What's the deal? I ain't heard from you in a couple days.
I decided to restart my celibacy journey.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power.
Exit polling data tells the story of what happened during this election. Look at this. This is coming from NBC News. I want you to look down there at Latino men. 54% for Donald Trump. Now, this is following that rally in Madison Square Garden, but also look at black men. 78% went for Kamala Harris, but 20% for Donald Trump.
I bet not see not one black woman a part of any feminist movement in this country.
This message is for black women. Does it not bother you that we are continuing to get pregnant by men that will never marry us? Does it not bother you that we have the highest rank in being single mothers in America? Does it not bother you that non-black women are getting married first, then having children? Does it not bother you that our women are purposely having babies with boyfriends rather than husbands? Putting our lives at risk to give birth to babies that were made by men that are not married to us.
Record each other.
I won.
Why are you following me?
Some house cleaning before we get started. For those who have been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door from me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Everybody, your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now let's get to it. Drop the video. What's the deal? I ain't heard from you in a couple days.
I decided to restart my celibacy journey.
For sure. I don't blame him, man. He hung up with the promptness. And I don't blame him. You know why? Because any woman that's not a virgin, that has children, and that's a certain age, wants to hold you over in a zone of celibacy because she's been traumatized from her past. She's giving it to guys who didn't deserve it. She has clear dysfunction from it. It's telling you she's going to hold you over to be celibate and try to initiate a dating scenario with you. I would run, because she is not going to tax me a premium to pay for the mistakes of guys she's been with before I even got there. What sense does that make? You're not a virgin, ma'am. And trust me, I'm not having any issues with any woman that wants to be celibate. But you cannot date unless you find a man that's staunchly religious and he's also on a celibate or celibacy journey. Then you guys match. But to go out in the dating market and find men who you know very well are not celibate and say, hey, I'm on this celibacy journey, so if you want to date me, then that means no access to the cookies, then you're insane. Because unless you can prove that you're a virgin or a born again, and I'm talking about a born again, stunts to the trenches Christian who's taken a vow to not have relations until she's married, then girl, get the hell out of here with this nonsense. Ain't nobody got time to play around with your grown ass with that stuff. You've been out here in the dating market doing whatever you want, throwing that box to whoever you like, whoever you choose, whoever you find attractive, and now you want to come back on the dating market on this, I'm born again and I don't want to, do X, Y, and Z with you until I, whatever you have to, what attributes of what she's looking for you to hit for her to give up the cookies. Hell no. No, man. Nobody going for that stuff. And I don't blame dude. Hang up in their face with the quickness. Let's go to the next one.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about I don't want no black woman and telling me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman? Why are you scared of black women telling you what to do all of a sudden? Don't you live with your mama still? Oh, sorry, you live with your grandma. Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom pay your bills? Don't your baby mom give you a car to drive? What's going on here? Don't you and your baby mom live with your mom? Talking about some black woman can't run that. What are you talking about? Black women are historically the backbone of society.
Exit polling data tells the story of what happened during this election. Look at this. This is coming from NBC News. I want you to look down there at Latino men. 54% for Donald Trump. Now, this is following that rally in Madison Square Garden, but also look at black men. 78% went for Kamala Harris, but 20% for Donald Trump. Usually Republicans score in the single digits. And finally, of course, white women, 52% for Donald Trump, and then you have 47% for Kamala Harris. Now, Donald Trump according to Pew, received 53% of the vote from white women in 2020. So basically, he didn't lose hardly any white women, despite the Dobbs decision overturning Roe.
Oh, I'm so surprised. That video before this one didn't age well, now did it? She thought that black men was going to vote for Trump at a 52% rate in the election. When, lo and behold, 80% of black men actually went blue and voted for Kamala Harris. Black men were actually shoulder to shoulder, damn near, with black women in their support for Kamala Harris. But do you see women like her issuing an apology? Do you think she got back on social media and said, I apologize, black men. You guys stood in the gap with us. You voted for this woman who isn't black, by the way, at 80%. Whereas the women who we hold in such high regard, our white feminist counterparts, voted for him at 52%. 52%. Latino women, they voted at 37%. And Latino men, 54%, 54%, which is an overwhelming majority. Who wasn't there for Kamala? Who wasn't there for the Democrats? Looks like every other group of people were not there for Democrats, surprise, surprise, but black men and black women. And yet, black women have the unmitigated gall to still castigate black men as if they were not there shoulder to shoulder with them in those voting booths. Black men are the most liberal men in America, and yet black women, before the election results came out, had the audacity to go on social media platform after social media platform, berating, bashing, denigrating, and damn near insulting black men about this election when black men actually showed up and showed out. Surprising. And I can guarantee you, not one of them is going to issue an apology. I've seen one say, yeah, we thank y'all for doing it, black men, but the 20%, what about the 20%? 20% isn't a majority. 20% doesn't change, doesn't move the tides of an election. No, I'll tell you what does move the tides of an election: 59%, 52%, 54%, 45% of others. And the others include Pacific Islanders and East Indians and other racial ethnic groups that may mirror Kamala's actual ethnicity. They didn't show up for her, but yet y'all want to stand up with y'all whole chest and still say, what about the 20% of black men that didn't vote for her? Had it ever crossed your mind that most of the time that not everyone agrees with your ideology politically? 8% of black women voted for Trump. That's 28% of the black population that voted for Donald Trump. That's still not a majority, but they're creeping up there. And you know why the Democrats are starting to slowly but surely lose black support overwhelmingly? Because the Democrats or the liberals seem to be focused on issues that don't improve people's financial standing. And I don't care what you say, trans bathroom issues, migrant issues, social programs, when people have to go to the grocery store and their grocery bill for 6 items is $100, that is going to be more of a jarring issue than anything. And until Democrats realize all this virtue signaling, all this identity politics isn't going to work in your favor, in fact, it keeps losing you more and more support, you're going to continue to see election results like this.
I bet not see not one black woman a part of any feminist movement in this country. Because this election just showed you that all the movement is about is protecting the privilege of white women and keeping you from it.
That's all any of the feminist movement has been about. White women somehow making themselves, which despite the numbers, they are the majority of people in America, somehow became this honorary minority. And black women help usher that in. And now black women like this sister on the screen here wants to say, I better not see black women protecting white women through feminism. Well, it's too late. Black women are the face of feminism. While black women are the beast of burdens of feminism, black women do all the work socially, push the movement socially. White women reap all the benefits without destroying their community, without destroying their homes. They're still going home to their men. 52% of them voted for Trump. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says that they're more focused on perpetuating their position in the white supremacy hierarchy than they are about susmortion or deleting children. See, that wasn't their issue. They didn't give a shit about that. White women know where their bread is buttered. White women know who they need to stand shoulder to shoulder with. And it ain't black women. And a matter of fact, they've never stood shoulder to shoulder with y'all. Sure, they'll give you empty platitudes and empty congratulatory symbolism for your work in the feminist movement. But again, I ask y'all, name me one law on the books that white feminists fought for black women solely, solely, solely. And you cannot do it. You cannot point to it. And I keep telling black women this over and over again. You can keep putting on the cape for white feminists as much as you like, because I know you're vying for honorary white womanhood, but it ain't gonna happen. You will never be a white woman. They will never recognize you as their equal, and they're just using you as pawns to facilitate their movement up in not opportunity outcome, right? No, they're not going to ever give up that position of having y'all facilitate their opportunity outcome, right? No, they want a results outcome, right? They want not an opportunity, but they want an privilege in the outcome, right? That's what white women position black women as the beast of burden for their outcomes, right? They don't give a shit about opportunity. They've always had opportunity. No, they give a shit about the outcome, right? This is what the work of feminism does. It creates outcome opportunity, not opportunity of outcome, right? They want privilege, nothing more. And if black women want to continue to prop up white feminists, you go right ahead and continue to do their dirty work and see none of the rewards. I agree with this sister, but it's a little too late. And I know I got rambled up there, but sometimes your thoughts get lost, but you got the gist of what I was saying. Let's go to the next one.
This message is for black women. Does it not bother you that we are continuing to get pregnant by men that will never marry us? Does it not bother you that we have the highest rank in being single mothers in America? Does it not bother you that non-black women are getting married first, then having children? Does it not bother you that our women are purposely having babies with boyfriends rather than husbands, putting our lives at risk to give birth to babies that were made by men that are not married to us? When I look into the entertainment industry and our society in general, we are the main sex symbols. We are standing in line with other women wanting to know if some rapper would smash or pass us. Not date us, not marry us, but smash us. And to make matters worse, a plethora of these women are in college, they have businesses, some of them are even mothers. Out of all hobbies that you can have, this is what you do in your free time. At this point, we can't even blame society anymore for degrading us. We are perpetually accepting less than the bare minimum. We also have to accept that we're always going to have to work double times or triple times harder to prove ourselves worthy in this society. And that's because of the lack of respect, morals, and dignity that we have instilled in ourselves as black women. Now, I'm aware that I will most likely be called a coon for saying this, because I have noticed that when you say something that makes black people uncomfortable, that's the first move they make. But one thing that I have learned about black people and people in general is that they will always misuse terms on purpose so that it can affiliate with their astounding level of sensitivity, and that is none of my business. That's it. I said my piece.
You know what? She's absolutely correct. She's absolutely right. The manosphere surprisingly has said this for over a decade now, and black women keep telling men in particular this isn't the case, right? We've told them that you give babies to men who are unworthy. You give babies to men who haven't married you. You give babies to men who don't seek relationships with you with proper intent, with character, with morals and structures attached to their intent. You find men out here that simply arouse you, that get your lady parts tingling, and you think that this is completely acceptable to allow a man like this into your realm and into your womb to replicate himself. And then once you have that baby and that guy pieces you out, because we know these guys are not men of character or structure, then when you start really living through the repercussions of your choices, now you understand why it's maybe not in your best interest to solely pick men based on attraction and promiscuity. right? A woman having sex is always going to be more burden written on her side than the man. For one, she can have a child. For two, she can, carry STIs and STDs that men typically don't carry. There are men, I should say, men are less susceptible of catching. Not saying that they can't, but women have way more symptoms when they catch STIs and STDs than guys. And you continue to get out here and propagate this feminist nonsense, this feminist babble of you can operate in your sexuality like men, you can be promiscuous, you can go out here and and have casual sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and you wonder why you're the least married, the most divorced, highest rate of single motherhood, and the most unprotected, disrespected women in America. Because you're uncovered and you continue to be uncovered by your own volition. You continue to be uncovered because this is what you believe facilitates some pseudo sense of power. See, a long time ago, I didn't understand why black women did the things they do. Some of them, not all black women are like this by a stretch, but it's a power play. It's a power move. They don't want to give up this pseudo sense of power they have in the black community in their homes. See, black women don't want to be told what to do, some of them. They have an issue with authority, and they believe that they're the ultimate authority. And to concede that power, to fall under someone's leadership, to be submissive to a man's will is an injustice. So they'll continue to be out here being single mothers, being selfish, having children, disadvantaging their children by not giving them a proper family structure. And they'll continue to get on social media and feign ignorance to why they are in the position they're in. And they'll blame everyone. And number one person to blame, of course, is black men. But they'll continue to blame society, white supremacy, and all the other likes of why they're dead last, why they're on the bottom rung of the totem pole of being disadvantaged. Y'all got to wake up, look in the mirror, because a lot of this stuff is on y'all. And I agree with this young lady.
Record each other.
I wasn't.
Why are you following me?
I'm not. I'm looking for Lynn.
I just turned on 3 hours and you still behind me. Can you get the fuck on?
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I'll catch y'all on the next one. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out of here. Man, I got to get this together. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Like Jesus.